Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's been a while since you guys heard that intro, right? So, anyways, we are here with another video by the infamous or famous, what is it called? Vtuber lover, Mrs. Shoe on Head. Yes, I am going to be one of those other VTubers in the entire space that's going to be reacting to Shoe on Head. Yep, I have joined the mob. I have joined the VTuber react mob for Shoe on Head. I am so creative. I am a mastermind. Yep. My ego is soaring. Okay. So, it looks like Shoe on Head is going to be talking about USAID. Okay, now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. A few months ago, during the whole debacle of the Trump administration and DOGE and USAID debacle, I got to admit one thing, okay? 48 hours was not long enough to get all the information that I need to understand about USAID. Let's be for real here, people. I think a lot of Americans probably don't understand what the heck USAID is. Alright? So, I mean, look, here's the thing, okay? I would like to maybe understand that my video might have some relevancy to this. I don't know. I'm just some dumbfounded dark dragon girl who rules over, destroys, and collects souls, yes? Okay. So anyways, we're gonna see what Shoe on Head has to say about what Trump destroyed and the dark truth about USAID.
Donald Trump, along with Elon Musk, have created a new government agency called DOGE. And what I originally thought was just an...
Which, honestly, is a freaking coin. Okay? Honestly, why would you call an agency something that is named after a coin? Okay? It's the same thing weirdness as like when Elon Musk named his kid after a freaking jet. Like, what the heck is that, bro?
An older sibling giving a younger sibling an unplugged video game controller actually turned into a real thing. And their first order of business was dismantling USAID, an innocent government program that helped poor people all around the world. Or was it?
Uh-oh. Well, it was a good 2 months run.
Hello and welcome back to the Shoe on Head channel. I am Shoe on Head and I am not real. I am a figment of your imagination. You have been in a coma since 2012. Wake
I'm also in the Matrix, by the way. Just so you know.
up. Wake up. Today we will be talking about the dark, seedy underbelly of USAID. This is a topic I've been interested in for a very long time now. And now that recently USAID has been in the news, I figured it is a perfect time to finally talk about it. All the mainstream liberal coverage I've seen of this has basically been late-night talk show hosts crying fake tears about it being dismantled, and all the mainstream Republican coverage has just been about all the woke shit USAID was apparently funding. But I promise you, it is more than that. A lot more.
So 48 hours worth of studying wasn't enough? Oh, well, it's fine.
You're not a very political person, and you only come here to consume the Reddit gender war slop, you should still stick around for this because this gets juicy. And remember, even if you're not interested in politics, politics is interested in you. And trust me, I understand why some people aren't interested in politics. It's confusing, it's stressful, it's a lot to keep up with. I feel like 500 things happen every single day. But thankfully, I have a tool to help with that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by USAID. Just kidding, this video is sponsored by Ground News. Let's quickly give them a shout out and then we will jump back into this deep dive, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news all across the political spectrum. From left, right, and center.
Guys, if I'm gonna end up being real, okay, I've been meaning to actually get my hands on this
the full story and
app.
make sure
You know
you're
what?
getting
Hold on a
both
second.
sides. One of my favorite features of Ground News has to be the blind spot feature.
Hold on a second.
It shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other side. For example, here is a story about how Elon Musk apparently pressured the Reddit CEO to moderate content on the site. Right away, we can see that the story has been covered by 12 sources. And out of these 12 sources, 75% lean left. and no right-wing sources have covered it. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see how political bias or ownership can affect the framing of a story.
So I
For
got
example, this
16%
right-wing
of
headline about how Trump is
36.99
taking
megabytes.
executive action to make DC safe and beautiful, while this left-leaning headline frames the same story
that's
as
fine.
Trump wants Washington, DC to be Berlin 1939.
What the hell?
I've been using
okay.
Ground News for 4 years now because it's great, I love it, and it really helps me see how both sides frame things so differently. Best of all, I'm currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is what I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only $5 a month. That's like the price of a coffee, and it is so worth it. It is one of the first apps I check in the morning. It's great. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code on screen right here, or use the link in the video description down below. Again, that is ground.news/shoe, or click the link down below. I think what they're doing
I'll
is
get the 40% off it just a
because it
minute.
helps people approach the news in a more fair and balanced way, and I feel like we need that now more than ever. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video.
Tartarus
and
Queen
thank
Dragoness
you,
is a
the viewer,
boomer!
for
Of
not
course I am a
skipping the
boomer.
ad.
I'm 41 freaking years old.
Right. Now let's get back to this USAID deep dive, shall we? So Donald Trump and Elon Musk created the Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE. Get it? Like the Reddit meme from 2012? Epic bacon, my fellow memers. Honestly, who am I to talk about dead memes? My username is Shoeonhead. So DOGE's supposed goal seems to be cutting useless spending the government is making us pay taxes on. Now, I have very mixed feelings about taxes. From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs.
No.
Taxation is theft! The tree of liberty will be refreshed with the blood of tyrants! My opinion has always been, if we are going to pay taxes in this country, could they at least go to things that actually help people, like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, child tax credits, firefighters, fixing our bridges and roads, castrating pedophiles, government-funded girlfriends, things like that. And yes, we should be auditing the government. I think that's a good thing. Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good things are good, bad things are bad. I'm anti-bad things, pro-good things. Those are my politics. And hating libertarians. Just kidding, I love libertarians. I get along great with them. As long as we don't talk about child labor. Anyway, Doge got straight to work, firing government workers and basically hiring my Twitter mutuals. What was once a theater kid-occupied government is now a right-wing schizo poster-occupied government. No, I am not joking.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could...
You know somebody who actually uses a username like that is gonna be bad trouble. Look, guys, I'm gonna be for real, okay? There's some people out there that are like super young and talented and got like a lot of brains, right? Okay, I don't think this person's got too many brains. Okay, there's gifted children. This person ain't gifted.
Refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE.
If you had told me 10 years ago that Donald Trump and Elon Musk would hire some Zoomer named Big Balls to help audit the government, I'd believe it. Like, yeah, that checks out. They have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. They're not even old enough to rent a car. They're in their 20s. We sent 18-year-olds to go die in the wars you cheerlead on, you evil hag! Why are they so focused on the ages of these people when our government is basically a retirement home? But honestly, I don't blame Hillary Clinton. If I were her, I also wouldn't want 22-year-olds in the government.
Emotional damage!
Oh my god. Why do you have to go sticking Monica Lewinsky in there? I'm done.
Months before dismantling the Department of Education, or apparently Sesame Street, Doge's first order of business was dismantling USAID.
Without providing any proof, Elon said USAID is a criminal organization. Oh yeah, they're an international crime syndicate hell-bent on helping people.
Pretty f***ed up, huh? taking money away from an aid program that helps poor people all around the world. Except USAID was not exactly that. In fact, it doesn't even f***ing stand for aid. It stands for United States Agency for International Development. It has f*** all to do with aid. But honestly, I don't blame you for thinking it does. After all, they do make the word aid a different color in the logo. Those sneaky bastards. Although it said USAID provides 42% of global aid, the truth is most of those funds are just spent paying US contractors and secretly conducting regime change all around the world. In fact, 80% of all USAID funding goes to just 75 organizations, while only 6% of that goes to aid. And by auditing USAID, DOGE exposed the true, real puppet masters behind the secret cabal of evil masterminds funding the woke ideology spreading all around the globe. You. Yes, it was you, American taxpayer. Turns out the deep state was the friends we made along the way. And yes, it's true, we are spending billions of dollars in our tax money to fund things like teaching Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, combating disinformation in Kazakhstan, promoting inclusion in Vietnam, millions to an Armenian LGBT group, millions to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem, millions for LGBT causes in the Western Balkans, millions for LGBT activism in Uganda, millions for atheism in Nepal.
Atheism? What? Millions for circumcision. I mean, that's somewhat okay. I mean, I can deal with that one.
Millions for male circumcision around the world, and $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. And many other things that were so ridiculous I had to double check to make sure I wasn't being trolled. Taxpayer-funded sex changes in Guatemala? We don't even do that here! Now, you might be saying, shoo, this seems like some stupid anti-woke shit. And yeah, kind of. You got me. But I ask you, young naive liberal, why the f*** was John Bolton once the head of USAID? John Bolton, for those of you who are unaware, is an infamous neocon hack. He's literally criticized Trump for not being enough of a warmonger. Neocon hacks, for those same few of you who are unaware, are the people in our government responsible for meddling with other countries all around the world and getting us into wars for basically funsies. The people who suck the teat of Raytheon, Boeing, etc. The military-industrial complex's favorite Discord kittens. These guys come in shades of red and blue. So why was...
Yeah, honestly, there was a thing behind my head that said, something else was going on. But I was that big, like too big of a forehead, 5-dimensional brain kind of person to even figure that out. But look, here's the thing. Okay, there's a lot of things that I missed. I'm gonna admit that. All right, I'm glad these are being addressed, because my forehead isn't really that big.
John Bolton, a red guy, in charge of the same program, USAID, that is sending American taxpayer money to foreign countries to have things like trans pride parades. The truth is, the USAID thing goes a lot deeper than what a lot of Republican commentators are saying. It wasn't just a bunch of libtards in government wasting our money on stupid woke things. No, there's way more than that. You see, it's current year and we can't just do old-fashioned imperialism anymore. The people don't like that. It's a new era, so we have to dress it up in glitter and rainbows. To put it bluntly, USAID is nothing but another form of taxpayer-funded regime change, wearing an innocent mask of aid. Shut up, Shu! You dumb bimbo populist! You reactionary shitlord! You cry, tears running down your fat, retarded face. The United States is just giving foreign countries billions of dollars out of the kindness of their hearts! Oh yeah? I have a lovely bridge on sale down the road. Would you like to buy it? Listen, despite all its faults, I love America, and I love the American people. But if you believe the corrupt, greedy bureaucrats running the deep state of this country do anything out of the kindness of their hearts, you are a sweet, innocent angel, and you need to be protected at all costs. I especially side-eye any leftist who has the nerve to run defense for USAID, especially those who call themselves socialists or commies, considering the fact that USAID was basically originally created to destroy communist countries all around the world. Established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy under the noble guise of aiding developing nations, USAID was, in many respects, an instrument during the Cold War to counter Soviet influence and keep the Third World from crafting its own socioeconomic model. A year after President John Kennedy created USAID in 1961, he told his directors that, as we do not want to send American troops to a great many areas where freedom may be under attack, we send you. It wasn't long before the CIA spotted an opportunity to extend its reach. In 1962, USAID launched its Office of Public Safety to send agents around the world under the guise of training police officers. But as it turned out, the trainers were busy teaching enhanced interrogation techniques, a euphemism for torture. The scandal broke out in 1966, and although the office was finally shut down in 1974, the dark practices persisted within military and intelligence circles. By 1980, USAID Administrator John Gilligan was candid enough to describe the agency as nothing more than a graduate school for the CIA. At one time, many aid field offices were infiltrated from top to bottom with CIA people, he said. It was pretty well known in the agency who they were and what they were up to. The idea was to plant operatives in every kind of activity we had overseas, government, volunteer, religious, every kind. USAID was quickly nicknamed the CIA's little sister. Oh, and here is John Bolton holding a trophy given to him by USAID in the shape of a hand grenade.
Am I allowed to show that on my video? Well, if Shuad Head is doing that, might as well. Plus, I like things that go boom. So
yeah, nothing to see here, folks. So let's talk about ZunZuneo, shall we? Sit down.
Oh.
I love this story. Taken directly from Wikipedia, ZunZuneo was an online social networking and microblogging service created by the United States Agency for International Development, aka USAID, and marketed to Cuban users. It was covertly developed as a long-term strategy to encourage Cuban youths to revolt against the nation's government. The developers aimed to use non-controversial content, such as sports and music, to build up subscribers and then to slowly introduce political messages through social bots to encourage dissent in an astroturfing initiative. So basically, USAID created a fake-ass social media platform in Cuba with our tax dollars, flooded it with bot content about like sports and music and whatever, just to make it seem normal, then slowly started to manipulate the users and create political division on the app between Cuban citizens in order to create political chaos in this country and a potential uprising. So yeah.
I'm sorry, what? I beg your... What the what kind of madness is this? What? Oh, okay. Damn, dude.
Yeah, how dare we take money away from those starving undercover agents? To make things even more sus, the money we spent on ZunZuneo was publicly documented as an unnamed project in Pakistan. Yes, this fake-ass social media psyop they created in Cuba was documented by our government as being a project in Pakistan.
So, the whole idea that we are the Pakistani. So this entire time since the Bush administration, even as far back as Clinton, all of this was because of USAID? Are you freaking kidding me? What? Look, guys, I thought George H.W. Bush was a dickhead for the things that he did. And I thought George W. Bush was a dickhead. But damn. This is unreal. What?
Now, think of all the other weird shit USAID was supposedly funding. Those sex changes in Guatemala. Were they really sex changes in Guatemala? Or were they some covert psyop being done somewhere else in the world? I guess we'll never know now.
USAID website offline as Trump moves to put agency under State Department.
Using social media to divide the masses and create political division. You don't think... No. They wouldn't do that. I mean, it's kind of weird they asked the former founder of Twitter to help with this project, but no. They would only do social media psyops in other countries, right? Right? In March 2024, a document was exposed that revealed USAID was running covert psyops all around the internet in order to combat populist misinformation about the government on Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and 4chan.
You're talking about the thing that got hacked within 48 hours? Even Twitch. Uh-oh. Guys. I think Shoe Head actually roasted Asmongold. Wait, did she low-key just roast Asmongold? She just called Asmongold an idiot. Low-key! What the hell? As far as Twitter's concerned, I got my ass out of Twitter like 2.5, 3 months ago. Okay, I already said that in one of my videos, okay? Never have I been so freed from a delusional piece of shit website. Okay? Even Reddit. Okay, I haven't even touched Reddit, but I know Reddit is kind of weird. When it comes to, like, video games, it's, like I've said before, okay? When it comes to, like, video games and, like, movies and shit like that, I don't mind people using Reddit or Twitter to get information for, like, games and movies and stuff like that. Little trivial matters. But when it comes to, like, important issues, why the fuck would you use these two pieces of shit platforms? I'm just gonna be honestly real with you guys. There is, and I've said this before in one of my videos. Why is all these government political YouTubers using these pieces of shit platforms? When we all know that other media is saying contradictory stuff, which is honestly more truthful than what these other YouTubers are saying. Don't believe me? There's plenty, guys. There's plenty. I've named them on this platform before, and the fact that they're all getting roasted right now is by this woman is crazy.
Although its internal justification was halting the flow of mis- and disinformation, it seemed particularly concerned with malinformation, a concept it defines as speech that is factually correct but misleading, i.e., bothersome truths the US government would prefer the public does not know. USAID suggests directing the public toward mainstream corporate sources of information and psychologically inoculating them against inconvenient facts that challenge US power by pre-bunking information before people see it. Pre-bunking includes discrediting the brand, the credibility, and reputation of those making false allegations. In other words, a state-directed attack against alternative media and critics of the US government. So basically, USAID was funding a bunch of dorks to go all around social media and be like, source? Every time someone criticizes the government. This is somehow more pathetic than when I used to use an alt account to defend myself on BreadTube subreddits. That is basically what our government was doing. Also, I like how this implies the people you called a Fed online might have actually been a Fed. There is a chance that you may have fought with a federal agent, a USAID federal agent on Twitter or 4chan.
Hey, USAID federal agents, I'm here. Want to have a little bit of a tech support? I'm all for it. Right here. Woohoo! I'm over here with my little lights and red flags.
This also implies that, like, streamers and social media influencers, may have been funded by USAID. But
Gee, I wonder who.
Who? Who among us? Who would be willing to unquestionably, enthusiastically suck establishment cock that hard?
For all the bad stuff America does around the world.
I thought she was gonna go for Hassan Piker or Bosch. But I mean, this is good too.
World, USAID was just an organization that did a lot of nice things. Like it put a lot of money into efforts to help people in a variety of ways, like both materially and culturally. It's just like a nice way for the United States to have a positive presence around the world.
For the record, I do not actually believe Destiny is being funded by USAID. I just thought that transition was funny. I fucking love that quote though. USAID was just a nice organization that did a lot of nice things, like culturally help people around the world. Culturally help people? Why are we in the business of cultural imperialism? Why do we have to culturally enrich Latin America or the fucking Balkans? So not only are we the world police, but we are now the world HR department? No thank you. Why are we spending billions of dollars doing fuck-ass shit in other countries while ours crumbles? I don't care about teaching gender studies to Ugandans. The pothole in front of my house hasn't been filled in 3 years. These are my taxes, and I believe my taxes should go to help people in my country. I don't think that's controversial to say. And I know many conservatives agree with me. I'll always hear them say, we can't be spending money in Ukraine. We have to take care of our own. And then they just don't take care of their own. Because that's socialism or communism or something. Listen, do you actually want to take care of your own? Do you actually want your taxes to go towards helping the poor and sick and families in this country? Are you actually America first, or are you corpos and foreign countries first?
Okay, look, here's the thing. I've been having this viewpoint for the longest time. Ever since George W. Bush. And this is why I was very hesitant to be voting in any presidential election, okay? It's because there's this stupid little two-party system, right? Right? And as some of on this platform are saying, oh, maybe Trump is not really Republican, but he just infiltrated the Republican Party to do some stupid stuff. That's just copium at this point in time. If we're being real here, people, we need to get rid of the two-party system. People have been saying this for the past 30 some odd years right now. It absolutely is just silly at this point in time, because it just minimalizes our perception of each other, and it just garners more and more selfish desires and social manipulation that and division that just completely outweighs what is freaking right. It's ridiculous.
More than happy to work with you on good things.
The first alternative president, I'm gonna be real, that I tried to actually vote for a long time ago was Ralph Nader. That man would have absolutely destroyed both parties, both the Republican and Democrat, and set us on the right path. Okay, but unfortunately, we're so brainwashed into this whole entire two-party system that oh god, I don't even know how to put it into words.
Things to fix this country. But I don't think the establishment GOP is.
You don't want able-bodied workers on a program that is intended, for example, for single mothers with 2 small children who's just trying to make it. That's what Medicaid is for, not for 29-year-old males sitting on their couches playing video games. We're going to find those guys and we're going to send them back to work.
First of all, Medicaid is for anyone who needs it, period. And second of all, 29-year-old guys? You mean your fucking voter base? You mean the very demographic that is shifting the entire country in your direction? Those guys? Yeah, we're just wasting so much money helping young men. Those greedy gamers just gobbling up all the tax money. Not massive tax cuts to corporations and the rich. Not all the money to the bloated military-industrial complex. No. Gamers. Young men who can't find a job, can't afford a house, can't afford...
There's some people that I just recently saw that there's no such thing as the deep state or the military-industrial complex. I do believe that there is no deep state, but the military-industrial complex, I somewhat believe it. But with all this, like, gobbledygook and misinformation and, weird shit that's going on behind the scenes, it's kind of hard to pinpoint whether that's true or not.
Ford College, young men who can't build a family because of the society you created. Those guys, they need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and pay for their own Medicare. This care isn't for them, it's for women. What? Great to know both sides of the establishment fucking hate young men. Anyway, sorry, I popped off. Let's get back on topic. Now, USAID did do some good things, I won't deny that. But even some of the good things USAID did were nothing but a bunch of fronts. Using Cuba as an example again, because these are some of the only ones that have been exposed so far, there was a USAID program called the Travelers Project that was said to be an HIV prevention workshop. But yet again, it was nothing but another covert regime change psyop. This was exposed in 2014 by the Associated Press. Young Venezuelans and Peruvians were deployed by USAID to Cuba's college campuses for $5.41 an hour. Really, USAID? Billions of dollars force feminizing mice and you can't even pay your spies a living wage? Sad. Anyway, they were used to recruit college students into political organizations with the goal of turning them against their government. The goal of, once again, creating political division. In the exposed memos about this, USAID called their HIV workshop the, quote, perfect excuse. Right.
Whoa!
We're totally funding DEI in Vietnam for pure humanitarian reasons, I'm sure. This was done so sloppily that even our boy John Bolton came out and disavowed it, but not without saying he thought it was a good idea in principle. Yes, it's a great idea to create taxpayer-funded secret psyops all over the world in order to f*** with other countries' politics. Just don't recruit teenagers to do it next time, okay? What? I honestly just think it's kind of funny we were funding anti-socialist agendas all around the world and disguising it as social progressivism. Don't think too hard about that one. Now, Cuba wasn't the only place USAID
Too late.
was
My brain just
culturally
exploded.
helping. On January 12, 2010, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti, killing 220,000 people, injuring another 300,000, and leaving 1.5 million more homeless. In the wake of the catastrophe, the United States provided $1.6 billion in reconstruction funding to Haiti, $651 million of which went to USAID. Rather than employing Haitian construction companies, USAID contracted out the rebuilding projects to international firms. For instance, Minnesota-based construction firm Thor was awarded $18 million in contracts, and Mexico-based firm Cemex received over $7 million. But by far the largest recipient of USAID funding in Haiti was Washington, D.C. based contractor Comonix International, who received over $200 million to carry out a total of 141 projects. In fact, USAID awarded more money to Comonix than to the entire Haitian government in the wake of the earthquake. An audit conducted on Comonix revealed that the company had a tendency to not finish jobs, evaluated its own project on arbitrary criteria not having to do anything with the project, and failed to set timelines, causing some projects to fall behind schedule. In one case, Comonix was contracted to build Haiti's new parliament building, but what they constructed came out half-finished and unusable. The company only built the framework of the building, not even erecting interior walls to divide office spaces, nor did they bother to furnish the building. Left with this, the Haitian government was forced to draw $775,000 from its public treasury to complete the project. Despite these disastrous results, Comonix to this day remains USAID's top contractor. The construction company was awarded $506.4 million in contracts in 2021 alone. In a leaked email exposed by WikiLeaks, they described this tragedy as a gold rush, ensuring that it would be great for international companies. Seems like the only thing they are culturally helping is their own wallets, am I right? And you know how you always hear about how poor people are in Venezuela and how the politicians are so rich and live in luxury? Yeah, part of that has to do with USAID. Billions of dollars of aid we sent to Venezuela just lined the pockets of US-backed politicians there. Only 2% of the aid we sent to Venezuela actually went to help Venezuelans. So at this point, the whole world was basically sick of USAID's bullshit. In 2013, Bolivian President Evo Morales expelled USAID officials from his country on the grounds that the agency had conspired against his government by allegedly manipulating social movements in the country. He also charged that a previous USAID program that sought to help cocoa farms switch to new crops was politically motivated. Russia expelled the agency in 2012 for similar reasons. Its foreign ministry argued in a statement that USAID attempts to influence political processes through its grants. And in February, Kenyan Cabinet Secretary Francis Kimimya claimed that his government had evidence that USAID had hired activists to organize anti-government protests in Nairobi in an effort to topple the government. Oh, and if you're wondering why so many news outlets and journalists were freaking out over the potential shutting down of USAID, yeah, it's probably because it's where their paychecks were coming from. Yeah, apparently USAID was funding about 6,200 journalists and 707 news outlets all across the world. Not even just America. For example, the editor-in-chief of a Ukrainian news outlet wrote that destroying USAID was a greater threat to Ukrainian journalism than the Russian invasion.
Okay, I gotta admit, have I been slightly played? Like, honestly, have all of us been played, like, really hard? I know some of us, like, we're kind of, like, on the fence about, like, something that was going on with the U.S. government. I've always suspected that the U.S. government had some really weird shenanigans going on behind the scenes. But, this is a whole new this is just crazy, man. This is crazy.
What? There were independent outlets shutting down everywhere, including Russia after the USAID freeze. So we were apparently funding media in both Ukraine and Russia.
I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
Serbia.
This is like the same thing as the gaming journos. Right? Every one of us has had a problem with the gaming journos, right? So the same psychology that we are immune to with gaming journos is more complex with government-funded journalists that we as the public don't all see at the same time, right? Is that what I'm getting at? It's like my brain is just like, oh my god. My brain hurts with all of this. I had look. The thing is that I've always had this instinct that something was really sending alarm bells into my head, but I wasn't smart enough to know that these things existed up until now.
Serbia, Moldova, all across Latin America, independent outlets shutting down everywhere. All because the little sister of the CIA can't pay no mo. So I have a question. Why the f were we funding media in all these other countries? Well, the CEO for the Center of Investigative Reporting, a USAID-supported Bosnian media organization, said it best. Quote, "If you are funded by the US government, there are certain topics that you would simply not go after, because the US government has its interests that are above all else."
Remember when I started making those Chinese videos, like roasting them all about? Yeah, this whole China thing that's going around. I guarantee you that USAID is probably responsible for suppressing my content. I'm gonna be for real here. I'm definitely sure that my content, as well as other people's content, which kind of roasts China as well, are being suppressed by the USAID. If I'm understanding this correctly, right? What? Okay, that's just crazy, bro.
Oh, I guess that answers my question. USAID is also ridden with other scandals, such as covering up a child sex abuse ring in Kenya, kidnapping and torturing people in Uruguay, forced sterilizing 300,000 Peruvian women, and the famous one you all know, funding drug production in Afghanistan. Oopsie poopsies, we...
Wait, hold on, what? We're funding narcotics in Afghanistan? Damn!
did little fucky wuckies. Now think about all the other shit that hasn't been exposed. These aren't mistakes, these aren't flukes, these aren't little fucky wuckies. This is what this program was set out to do. This is why it was created. We were quite literally funding Globo Homo as a sneaky way to do regime change and American intervention. Or do you think we're spending $1 million in Nepal to promote atheism because Hinduism is such a threat? You're cute.
What bothers me is the whole atheism in that country. I'm just like, why are you teaching atheism in a very devout Muslim country? Like, are you trying to, like... Okay, wait a minute. Is this some sort of, like, five-head ethnic cleansing to convert people to Christianity? And Catholicism is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. I had a feeling this was gonna be a thing. Alright. I had a feeling.
The United States won't sleep until there's an ugly progress flag hanging on Starbucks on every corner of every street all over the world from Latin America to the Middle East. Ah yes, the greatest American exports, butt, sex, and war. There are a shit ton of old left-wing articles you can find online spanning back to like 2010, even earlier, about how evil USAID is. Now suddenly liberals are acting like it's another fucking beacon of democracy that we have to cry and piss and shit about just because it's Trump getting rid of it.
I'm gonna be real, I'm not really a liberal. People, okay, here's the thing. Some of the stuff that I say on this channel, people would think, oh, you know what, I'm a freaking diehard liberal. I'm not. I'm literally not. But then again, I don't agree with a lot of the things that, you know, the right wings say. Okay, I'm not that conservative, yet then again, I'm not that libertarian. Okay, I'm just somewhere even in the middle. And if you think that, like, oh god, you support centrist ideas, boy, I will roast the living frick out of the centralists if they do something stupid. I'm gonna be real here, people. I am gonna go full scorched earth on everything if I have to.
Frankly, I don't care. If they start dismantling things that I do care about, things that do actually help the—
Remember that Godzilla, like, picture I put in one of my videos? Where Godzilla actually blows up? The whole, like, what is it called? What is it? The movie, Godzilla vs. Destroyer. That one scene where Godzilla blows up and then he, what is it called? Disintegrates the Earth's atmosphere. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm gonna be with, like, every the what is it called, every sort of, like, affiliation with Democrats, Republicans, and centrists if things get way too out of hand.
The American people, then I will care. Expose where the trillions of dollars we spent on the Iraq war went next, please. Or, you know, actually release the Epstein files.
I've always wondered about what's going on with the Iraqi war. Like, I know there's something... I've always talked about what was going on with the freaking Middle East. Right? And this is where a lot of the stuff that are... A lot of our problems, like, kind of like... When it comes to, energy... The energy crisis in the U.S., right? I've always wondered about the Middle East. Ever since George H.W. Bush. Like, I knew there was something... It wasn't just the bad deals that George H.W. Bush did when he was alive that caused them to retaliate against George W. Bush in the 9/11 thing. I knew there was something more to it.
Do I think DOGE cut USAID because they're our great comrade in arms, cutting off the tentacles of American imperialism? No.
Kind of. But then again, I said that 48 hours wasn't enough to actually do any kind of, like, real research.
Trump probably just cut it because he thought it was a woke, gay waste of money, and it was. But as far as I'm concerned, every article written about how bad dismantling it was written by John Bolton himself. Like the president of Colombia said, "Take your money with you. It's poison." All the sources I used in this video and all the information I got for this video will be in links down below. Feel free to do your own research as always. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. A lot of you aren't subscribed apparently. You just watch and f*** off.
Because they're all into the anime waifus that react to you. Yes? Yay!
I will find you. Also, this video is
Please do find me. I want to be stepped on by you.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Very creepy!
most likely going to be demonetized, so if you can and if you want to, please donate to me on Patreon, link down below. It helps the channel so much and I appreciate it. And I will see you next time with a less serious, more fun video.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, what the flying frick? My mind! My, what is it called? My mind and my, what is it called? Sandstone spongy head has been filled once again with the knowledge of psyops and conspiracies. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Also, Dan Clancy is probably gonna get, like... I thought it was just Asmongold that was gonna get roasted, but no, I think Dan Clancy just got... I think Dan Clancy just got deleted. Honestly. But anyways, that was mind-opening, mind-opening, mind-bending, and stuff like that. Guys, we're all in the Matrix. Get ready. I am the next Neo! Whee! Prepare to be blue-pilled!